Hello, Starshine. This is Smadar from Song of Stones, and I am a crystal whisperer, which means I talk to stones and they talk to me. And these guys, I'm here today with some lithium quartz crystals and some black tourmaline and a broken jar. And I'm going to tell you why I'm here with these crystals, and especially why I'm here with the broken jar, because it is quite a magical story. And I know I just was talking to you guys about this beautiful magic with aquamarine, and I didn't expect to be here with another really powerfully magical story just days later. But it happened, so here I am. Okay, it started a couple of days ago when I went to look for a crystal. There's this crystal that's been missing for a long, long time. And for some reason, I decided to look for it right then and there. And so I went in and started looking around, and I lifted up a jar of lithium quartz crystals. This is not the jar. These are the crystals, but this is not the jar, because when I lifted up the jar, the glass had broken, but in such a very unusual way. The bottom half, it was like somebody had taken a glass cutter and cut around the entire circumference of the jar, but not in a straight line. So I thought that was really unusual. But then I was like mesmerized by a group of crystals. These are them that were just singing so powerfully. And I thought, okay, that's why the crystals were singing. That's why the jar broke, because they needed to get my attention. And there's, the crystals get my attention in so many different ways. It's quite amazing, all the different ways in which they speak to us, to us, because they're always speaking to us, to all of us. I know I call myself a crystal whisperer and that I can hear the Song of Stones. We all can. It's not, it's something that all of us have within us to do. It's just a matter of learning how. It's kind of how you learn how to communicate with an animal that you love, or babies. It's really, when you communicate with someone, they help you. They try and help you to understand them. So, and that's how it works. Anyways, I went off on a tangent, and I want to stay with this story because it's a long story, and I don't want to keep you for 30 minutes like the last video. Okay, so these crystals had me mesmerized, and am I going to tell you about each one of them now? I don't think I will. I think I'm going to save that for another time. So then this morning, I was looking for some crystals that were singing for the equinox. Today and tomorrow are is the autumn equinox, or the fall equinox, whatever you want to call it. So I thought, let's see who's singing. Who wants to volunteer to help us through the transition? So I find the fall equinox is probably one of the hardest transitions from the warm weather into the winter, for a lot of us. You know, summer is such a joyful time. We're bathed in sun and warmth and fun. And it's not just the season itself, it's what we've created the season to be. We've decided that summer is the fun time. And understandably, it's not without reason, but why can't winter be too? And it can. And so I was listening, and these black tourmaline crystals were one of the crystals that were singing. And I thought, okay. So I grabbed the jar, and I was on my way out, so I was going to deal with them later. So I was just going to take them upstairs to where I take pictures. And I slipped on the stairs, and the jar flew out of my hand and fell on the ground, on the wood floor. And this is not the jar. It broke, but not in a way you would expect it to break. This is how it broke. I've broken a lot of jars, and I've smashed a lot of glasses, and I've never seen this happen before. It's like the same thing. It's like someone had taken a glass cutter and cut around the circumference of the jar. There weren't a lot of shattered pieces, and the way it fell, I mean, I fell. I went down hard. I have a bruise. And the jar flew up and down. So this is unusual. I might have not thought twice about it if I didn't have the experience of the jar with the lithium crystals in it, because it broke in the exact same way. Okay, not exact, but very, very similar way. I don't have it. I threw it out. I wish I would have taken a picture of it. Hindsight, 2020. But, I mean, so twice in the span of a couple of days. So already I knew to pay attention. And I brought up the lithium crystals because I thought, okay, it's lithium and black tourmaline that's going to help us through or journey with us, however you want to see it, through the equinox. And then in the quiet moments, I was actually I wasn't at a meditation group, but I was at a group meeting, and during the meeting we had a meditation, and during the meditation went into the meditation for something else, but then I heard the crystals, and I heard the lithium crystals and the tourmaline crystals saying that they wanted to come together. And I don't know if you guys can notice it through video, but just when I was talking about that, the energy in the room shifted. And please let me know if you felt that. I would love to know. I'm always curious. Are other people feeling that too? Anyways, I pulled out one of my personal crystals. My personal lithium and tourmaline. These guys were singing, and they ended up being such a gorgeous pairing, a match. I'm going to say match because they really, it's just very funny when funny is not the right word. It's just very beautiful when the crystals come together and they are meant to be together. There's this magnetic pull towards each other. It's almost as strong as you would feel a magnet pulling against something magnetic. Let me put them up a little bit better so you can see. They're such pretty crystals. So then as I was setting up this table to show you, and it's getting dark, so I'm doing the same thing that I did. It's interesting, I'm doing the same thing that I did with the aquamarine crystals. I'm huddling by the window on the floor. So we'll see how long I last before my feet start falling asleep. It was 30 minutes last time. So what I heard was that bringing these crystals together, and I don't know if it's going to work with any lithium and any tourmaline. I know it's going to do it with these guys, because that's what I'm hearing from these guys. And I would encourage you to pull out your black tourmaline and pull out your lithium crystals if you have them. And if you don't, you can find them here. We have both. And you can see if it works without having specific crystals singing to be together. But so what I heard was when these guys come together, that they're going to create a dampening field around us. It's going to create this beautiful energy, cocoon us in a beautiful, beautiful energy of quiet. And this is what I'm hearing. And I've been hearing this a little bit from slate too. If you've ever worked with slate, there's a softness to it, a quiet to it. And so these guys are going to create that around us. A beautiful sphere or bubble of this peaceful. That's really the word. Peace. It's peace. This peaceful energy. And we can sit in that whenever we need, whenever we feel frazzled, whenever we're around dissonant energies. And honestly, I'm going to say it, it's a lot in our world. You know, we're so disconnected from nature, from the natural world in our homes and with our tech and in our cars and in big office buildings. And, you know, there's a lot of different frequencies and it's a lot of noise. And it can be very overwhelming, especially for those of us who are sensitive and empaths. And I know that probably everybody that's listening to this is sensitive and an empath. And if you don't think you are, you might be. Because the crystals draw us. They draw the sensitive people because they're so peaceful. They are such an anchor for us. And it really is that peaceful energy. And you can get that from any crystal. You can get that from a plant. You can get that from water. You can get that, and this is something that people don't often know about. It's a crazy open secret. You can get that from yourself. And if you want to know the truth, when I say that these crystals are creating a field, a dampening field, that field is not coming from them, it's coming from you. They're just showing us the frequency. They're creating the frequency and they're showing us that energy. And we naturally do it, often without thinking that we're doing it. We're always looking around and going, oh, this is magical and this is magical, but look in the mirror too. Because these things are all magical. They all have their magic, but the big stuff, it's coming from you. And the more often that we connect with the spaces and the beings that put us into that space, the more we're going to remember how to do it ourselves without any help. And I'm not going to say it's easy because, listen, when I go into the forest in the morning and walk in the trees, I'm in heaven. And then when I walk out of that forest, when I touch the cement, the concrete ground, flooring, tile, whatever you want to call it, I'm out of it. I'm out of it. I'm out of that energy. It takes intention and purpose and, experience to be able to take that kind of energy and bring it into my personal space. And that's why we have the stone beings, because they just do it naturally. And I am going to, I'm going to have to end here because I'm about to get interrupted. And also my feet are starting to fall asleep. in this corner up against the window so that you can see these beautiful crystals in all their light. And I'm going to be talking more about these guys, and I'm going to be sharing more about how to get a hold of these crystals. I'm going to be putting them together. That'll all be in this week's newsletter, in this weekend's newsletter. And I'll show you how to get this harmonic pairing. If you would like me to listen to a pairing for you. And otherwise, I invite you to look for your own lithium and tourmaline stones and give it a try. Or if you don't have any, you can order them individually on the website. But like I said, I don't know if it's going to have the same effect. I would love for you guys to tell me if you try it. I just want to let you have that. Feel into that energy before we say goodbye, just a moment to really feel into that beautiful, lovely energy. And I wish you a magical day. And stop by and visit songofstones.com. And if you're not signed up for the newsletter, now's a great time because all this beautiful information is coming this Sunday. And I will see you there. Lots of love.